Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a process that affects pretty much every single app on your phone. We're going behind the scenes to meet a true unsung hero of the digital world, the quality inspector. You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. Your weather app says it's 300 degrees outside, or your delivery app suddenly shows you someone else's pizza order. It's not just annoying, it makes you wonder if you can even trust the app at all. So today, we're going to see exactly how the Digital Quality Inspector stops these things from happening. We're going to walk through their entire inspection process, step by step, to see how they keep our digital lives running smoothly.
Okay, so how does this inspector actually do their job? Well, first, we need to get a handle on how digital information even gets to the app on your phone in the first place.
Think about it. Every time you refresh your feed, check sports scores, or see a friend's new photo, an API is acting like a messenger, delivering that info in a digital package. The whole process of checking that package for mistakes before your app uses it, that's API testing. And trust me, it's absolutely crucial.
Now, this whole inspection is built on a really simple but powerful idea, the assertion. Just think of an assertion as a single yes or no question on a checklist. Is the package addressed to the right place? Yes or no? Is the box damaged? Yes or no? These little automated checks are the building blocks for this entire process.
And speaking of checklists, every single one of these digital packages goes through a standardized 5-point inspection to make sure it's up to snuff. This structured approach is what makes it all work so well. And here it is, the inspector's official checklist. This is what guides them through the whole inspection. They start on the outside of the package, the delivery status and the shipping label, and then they work their way all the way to the actual contents inside.
So our inspection kicks off with those first 3 checks on the list. And what's really cool is that you can learn a whole lot about the package before you even think about opening it. First, the inspector checks the delivery status, which we call the status code. Then, they glance at the shipping label, or the headers. That tells us what kind of stuff is inside. Is it text, an image? And finally, they check the tracking sticker, which are the cookies that help the server remember who you are. If that status code isn't a perfect 200 OK, bam, that's an immediate red flag. It could mean the server couldn't find what you asked for, or something else went wrong. Checking these outside details is the fastest first line of defense against bad data getting through.
Okay, so getting the right package is one thing, but it's not enough for it to be correct. It also has to be fast. In our world, speed is everything for a good user experience.
I mean, we've all done it, right? Rage quit a website because the little loading circle just keeps spinning and spinning. To stop that from happening, automated tests check if the response time is under a certain limit, usually something like 200 milliseconds. If it's any slower, it fails the inspection. Simple as that. Nobody likes a slow app.
All right, now for the moment of truth. It's time to finally open the package and inspect the actual contents. This data is called the response body, and this is where the really nitty-gritty checks happen. Before a real-world inspector starts digging through a crate, what do? They check the manifest, right? The list of what's supposed to be there. In the digital world, that manifest is called the JSON schema. It's the blueprint that lays out the structure and type of data that we expect to find inside. So the schema check is basically asking these kinds of questions. Is the user ID a number, like it should be? Is the name actually text? Because if the app is expecting a number and it gets text instead, poof, it could just crash right there. This check makes sure the format is right before we even look at the data itself.
Okay, so the manifest checks out, the structure is solid. Now the inspector can finally look at the items themselves and verify if the actual information, the values, are correct.
And this is where we get super specific. The test isn't just checking if the ID is a number, it's checking if the ID is exactly 1. Is the name John, not Jane? This is the check that makes sure the information you see on your screen is the actual information you asked for.
And hey, if you've ever been curious what one of these assertions actually looks like to a developer, here's a quick peek. They might write it in an older style or a more modern one, but the goal is always the same. Create that simple, automated check to prove the data is correct.
Okay, so we've been through this whole meticulous multi-step inspection, but why should you, the person just trying to use the app, actually care about any of this? How does it all connect back to you?
Well, this whole process is basically an invisible shield.
It's protecting you from just total digital chaos. It's the reason your banking app shows the right balance. It's why your weather app doesn't say it's 500 degrees. It catches the vast majority of errors long before they ever get a chance to ruin your day.
And this really brings us to a fundamental truth of the digital world, and it's summed up perfectly right here. What it means is, how good your experience is with an app is directly linked to how well that app inspects its data. Every single check we talked about today is all about making sure our digital tools are reliable and trustworthy.
So at the end of the day, this inspector's process is the fine line between a 5-star app you love and one you delete in total frustration. But it does make you wonder, what happens when the inspector misses something? That possibility is the constant challenge and the true test of an app's quality.